YouTube, it's Mahya here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Persian language. I'm here with my really good friend Hannah. Hi Hannah.
Hi everybody. My name is Hannah. I'm also a polyglot and I know a lot of languages. I'm still studying a lot of languages. Language learning is my passion. Should I say like the languages that I know? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Of course, I speak German because I'm German, so I'm a native speaker. Then with 15, 16 I also learned English, and then afterwards I learned Portuguese, the Brazilian Portuguese, and then Spanish. Then I started to learn Farsi, also French, and right now I'm also learning Turkish.
Great. So, as I already mentioned, today we're going to be talking about Persian language and how to learn that. My first question is going to be, why did you even decide to learn this language? Because I know many polyglots, they know 10 languages but not Persian. So why did you choose this language?
That's a very good question. I often get this question asked, and actually I don't know, when I was like 16, 17, I always wanted to learn Arabic language. I always found it so beautiful when you write from right to the left. And then I met a lot of Afghan people, and I became friends with a lot of Afghan people.
In Germany, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are many Afghans there,
that's
right?
true. And they're so nice, such nice people. And then they always spoke in Farsi, in Dari, and the sound was so beautiful, and I was just like amazed of their sound. And then I was like, I think I love Farsi more than the Arabic sound, so I could decide between should I start with Arabic or Farsi, and then I was like, okay, I go with Farsi because it sounds so poetic actually.
Really?
Language.
Wow, it's nice to know how a Persian sounds to a non-native speaker. I was always curious to know. So, how did you learn it? Because I know that there are many people who want to learn Persian, but unfortunately Persian is not like other languages like English or French that you can find many resources for free or online. So would you tell us how you learned it and about the resources that you used? I can also link all the resources down below, and our friends can go and check them out.
Of course. Yeah, so when I started it was quite tough because it was maybe 4 years ago and there were not so many resources, and I also was Googling because I really want to learn this language. And actually it was just the beginning of my journey of learning a lot of languages, and I was kind of lost, to be honest. And then like I found a book, it was in German. I forgot the name, but I will also recommend you guys this book. It's really good. It was so from German to Farsi, and it teaches you the writing. Because if you really want to also know how to write, I think it's also important to know that. But I also know some people learn Farsi without knowing the writing. You also can do that. And it first teach me how to write, and I really not writing with this book, just with this book. And then later it had some like grammar sessions and explaining you like different grammar rules or also vocab. But then at a certain moment it was not that good anymore, because there's a difference between the spoken way and the written, like the formal way. And this book was more the formal way. So I was like to my friends, and they were like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. That's weird. We don't say it like that. Yeah, so then I stopped because I was like still searching a good resource, and then I stopped maybe for some months, which was really sad. And then I was like, okay, it was actually the beginning of the pandemic. It's like, I really want to learn Farsi, like I need to look again, maybe I find new resources. And then I found a platform. I don't know if you know this platform. It's called Preply. No. It's like kind of similar to iTalki, where you can book teachers, online teachers. So I was like, okay, I really want to learn this language. And then I went on Preply, and there I found a teacher. And the interesting thing was about this teacher is that she is not native Farsi speaker. She is from Hungary, but she studied Iranian language. and she's like really fluent. She's also a translator. And I chose her because she knows, she already learned this language, so she knows what is important, what are the differences, and she also already lived for a while in Iran. And she helped me a lot, and I think one of the most important thing was that she always tried to talk to me in Farsi all the time, so I need to try to speak more. And also what I really love, and I really would recommend everyone to try to write. Even if you're like really bad in like the written way, you also can use the Latin alphabet actually, and just write and try to express yourself and form sentences. And then also she recommended me a very good book which teaches you the spoken way of Farsi. It's called Mina. You guys also then can find the link there. It's really good. I love this book because it really tells you the expressions that people really use. What else do I use?
Do you have any like apps that you frequently use, or any YouTube channels?
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, for apps I didn't really find so much useful, to be honest. The only thing that I'm using is Anki to learn vocab.
Through flashcards.
So the words that I learn through talking or from the book, I always add to Anki.
Actually, I know some of these, apps that include they have 100 languages. There are those that I can link them down below for you guys if you want to check it out. Are there any resources like YouTube channels, I don't know, websites that you would like to recommend?
Of course. So when I started, I watched a lot of fairy tales, and there's a YouTube channel that's just called Farsi Persian Fairy Tales. You find all the links in the description. And also then I watched cooking shows like Beth Hamecham, because they use daily expressions, like how old are you, my name is. And what else? Right now I found just a new YouTube channel, and he is doing really great content about the spoken Farsi. I think it's called Learning Persian. I will just put down the link. It's really amazing. Really would recommend.
For beginners?
Yeah, for beginners and also intermediate. Yes, for both. Good. That's really amazing, and it shows you the most common phrases. He's doing an amazing job. And also when you're also already intermediate advanced, I would recommend to watch maybe vloggers, people, Iranians, and
how about Persian Pod 101?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you. They're also really good.
I keep recommending that to everyone because just write the name of your language, your target language, and add Pod 101, French Pod 101, Spanish Pod 101. That's just a great resource for you guys to learn any languages.
That's true. Yeah, I really like them.
Okay, now I have two really important questions that I was always curious about. So as a polyglot, would you tell me, in comparison with other languages, is Persian easy or not?
Oh, that's a pretty good question. I think Persian, in my opinion, is not so hard because the grammar is pretty simple. It's not really that complicated. But for example, when I compare it with Turkish, I think Turkish is harder, to be honest. I don't know the grammar and the verbs. Turkish is when you learn German and you're learning Turkish, it's kind of harder than when you learn from German to Farsi. But also, for example, when I look at French, I think French is also one of the more complicated languages because they say certain things, but
it's not written as it is pronounced.
Yeah.
The way it's pronounced.
So actually, I would put French and Turkish at one of the harder languages, and actually Farsi was not that hard. The only thing is that I think is maybe a little bit tricky. You need to learn a new alphabet. And right now I'm also trying to improve my writings, and I'm still a bit slow. Also when I read, I'm still slow.
So do you think Persian is worth learning, and why should our audience learn Persian?
Of course, I think Persian is worth learning. It's such a beautiful language, and it opens up another world. I think in principle, when you learn another language, it always opens up another view, another perspective. And also, I think then you can meet like really nice people and you can try to connect with them, and also the language is just so poetic. And also it has a lot of history, which I think is very interesting.
And another interesting thing is that, you know, there are certain languages that not many people are willing to learn, like Persian, for example. So when you learn it and you become like one of the few people in your country that can speak that language, then you have more job opportunities.
Yeah, more chances.
More chances in life. Because nowadays, if someone wants to learn a second language, they always choose French, Spanish.
Yeah, always Spanish.
German, nowadays Korean.
Or English.
So, yeah, English is not their native tongue. So if you go with Persian, that would be like really great. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be linking all the resources in the description box down below.
Yeah, really thank you. And I hope it was helpful for you, and you also will, of course, find all the resources down below. And maybe I also will try to divide them into beginner and maybe a little bit for some stuff for advanced people. And really learn this language. It's so beautiful, and just so beautiful.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.